Okay, so this is my haul of the things I made while I was at my friend's house for a week. Friday, we arrived Friday, we left Saturday, so I just got back last night, and so I thought I'd show you all the things that I made. They're not all here because I left some for her that I made specifically for her, but I will add pictures of those items in here. I think I designed her, I think, close to 10 card designs. She said she's gonna be able to make 125 cards out of what I designed for her. So those are there with her, so I'll add pictures of that in here, and then I did a couple of my mixed media cutting boards for her, so I'll put those pictures in at the end. So first I'm gonna go through all the things that I made there at her house, and the paper that I used, and go from there. So this is one of my typical recipe albums that I usually make, that is just using the Dollar Tree photo albums, and I decorate one side of it and then the other side is the recipe card. So I just made one of these, and I was using the Echo Park Sunflower Summer Kit, not kit, but the pad, and then I used the I don't even know if I used any. Yeah, I did use some stuff from the ephemera pack, and I still have about half of the stack left over, so I could make two, but I'm now realizing I didn't put a pattern paper on the cover, so I will have to go back and do that. But I really enjoy these albums. They're really quick to make, and they are just really cute to give as a gift, so I do really enjoy making these type of recipe books. But I did make a bigger recipe book, you'll see later. So that was one thing that I made. Then my friend Tracy, who hosts us every year, she works with a lot of Queen & Company. She has about every Queen & Company shaker set that they have come out with, and these she had extra of. She just will make the whole kit. She'll turn most of them into cards, and then any leftovers she just keeps. And so I've been trying to utilize them in the way that I create with, which is usually a mixed media type activity or project. And so we had gone to, in Idaho, they have what's called a craft warehouse, and it's like it's like Michael's and Hobby Lobby in that they have picture frames and fabric and home decor and everything, but they have a lot of stuff that we don't have in our local stores, and even in their paper supply they have like Prima Marketing, Cartabella, Echo Park, 49th and Market. They have a lot more suppliers than, you know, Hobby Lobby's only Paper Studio and Michael's is only Recollections. So it was nice to go to the warehouse and get something that you don't typically get in your local stores. And when I went there, they had these, they're embroidery hoops, and they are burlap, and then they have what's it called, embroidery on them that say blessed, thankful, and grateful, and they were $1. And so I had got two of them, and I made her one, and then I made myself one. I do have a video coming out of me making this, but all I did was take her leftover shakers and just put them around here as a border. Some of my stuff has been a little bit damaged because, you know, I'm traveling and it's in a suitcase that's getting tousled all around. And then it looks like maybe Seeger got a hold of this when I got home and had it sitting out, because he loves to get into all of my craft stuff, and especially these. He tries to open them up to get to them. So anyways, this is one of the things I made with the Queen & Company shakers. And I'll have to find out what the collection is of this actual shaker. So I'll put it in the video when I get that video posted in the next few weeks. So this was just something I made, and like I said, I made her one also. Seeger's already back for the shakers. Put that over there. Okay, I'll just start working through these. This was another one I made using her extra shakers, and this is Queen and Company also, and I wrote it all down. So this is the costume cuties from Queen and Company, and I just had this, it's like a chalkboard hanging sign from Hobby Lobby. My mom usually gets me this stuff when it goes on sale and then ships it to me if I don't get it here in my own store. So I just went and through her stash and made up, you know, the ground for them to stand on, and I used her embellishments for the stars, and then used her shaker pieces. So she had made well over 100 Halloween shakers, turned them into cards, and then had just excess laying around. So, well, excess that she hadn't done anything with. And so I kind of thought this would be a really cute little decor piece, and so that I put together. I also have a video on this, so this one will be coming out shortly as well. Okay, then these are, so my friend Tracy, which I get a lot of craft stuff from, because she sees, like, she's always like looking out for us and sees things that thinks we'll be inspired by or looks like our creative style, and so she'll just get it for us, and then we get to create with it. And so one of the things she got was during Scrapbook Fest last year, and it was a collection of paper from P13. It wasn't even the collection. She just kept getting multiple sheets of the same thing, and she wasn't really sure why. And so she thought it looked like me, so she gave it to me to play with, and I created these things with it, which are not anything. I think I'm going to frame them as Christmas decor, but they're just on chipboard right now. And they got snowflakes, and I fussy cut all this out, and, well, not snowflakes, but all this stuff I fussy cut out and put it on with foam dots and stuff. And so I made like a collection, so I'm thinking I can put them together as a collection. So I think I'm gonna frame these, or I'm gonna put them on wood with some molded like stuff from Prima to fancy them up. Those are things I made with the paper she had saved for me. This is my big recipe album that I made. So it is a chipboard cover and made with clasp envelopes from the Dollar Tree. So and I used Cartabella Farmhouse Living Collection, which I have enough in here that I could probably use it with one of their collections to make another one, but I did use a lot of the tags and stuff, so I'm not really sure if I will. But I thought this was a really nice and sturdy album. It came out really well, but it has pockets in it for your recipe cards, and then it also has that's 4 recipe cards and a flip up. And then because they're clasp envelopes, you can actually open them up and stick more recipes into here. And there's 4 pages in the album, and each section of page has one of these recipe spots. This is actually a pocket, which I forgot to put something in, but it will hold something also. And then I also made these little flip things that you could put notes on about your recipes, like where did you get it from? Is it your grandma's recipe? Or you liked it, but your kids didn't, like just little notes about it, and then you have more to store in there. And so every page has at least 4 recipe cards, and then it has like some flip outs that you could put a picture of the recipe on here after it's made, and then some notes. Also, every page has a pocket section that you could also stick recipe cards in. It's a little more difficult than I expected it to be, but you could put more recipe cards into there. And your so every page has one of those. There, every page has a flip out for notes, and some of these I didn't quite plan accordingly, and now I have to fix the flower on it, but it also keeps it closed from flapping open. So, and then this too is a pocket over here. So I think it has a lot of room for recipes, and it's really sturdy. So that I thought came out really well, and I'll probably do a video on this at some point because Christmas is coming up, and I feel like this would be a good Christmas gift to give someone. Okay, this was one of my most favorite projects that I made, and I think it came out really well. In fact, I already have somebody who wants it, but I'm going to shoot an actual video of making this. But this is an advent calendar, and I designed this advent calendar probably 6 years ago and never made it. But it's the story of Jesus' birth, and every day is new scripture to read up through his birth, and then on Christmas you can read the whole thing together, so you have the whole story at once, but every day you get a little piece of every story. So it's got 24 cards, and they're all labeled with numbers, which these were really awesome. I can't remember the company, their advent numbers, and I'll show it in the video when I do the video, because I was just going to print them on my Cricut, and then my friend Tracy came across these, and they are absolutely perfect because I had already cut out the gold and was going to just do my own, but when I saw these, they were perfect. So I made the box that it sits in, and it's just a home decor piece that is an advent calendar, and I used the Oh Holy Night paper from Echo Park, which I don't believe I have enough of to do another one, so I'll probably get either the same pack or a different one to do the one with the video. But this one was already a hit with the people who had come and stopped by and saw the things I made, so I'll be making another one of these. Okay, then I was playing around with stuff. So when I went to the craft warehouse, I had bought these embossing folders, these 3D, which I have 3D embossing folders, but I really liked the flowers. So this is a foxglove, and this is a dahlia. And since my niece's name is Dahlia, I was already thinking things I could make with this. And so I played around with them a lot, doing the ink technique, where you ink up the embossing folder and then you stamp it. And so I had never really done that before because I'm lazy and don't want to get the ink out, but I did a lot of them with these, and even ones from my friend Tracy's stash. So I was playing with those, and then I was also playing with how to blend the inks out a little more. And I did the foxglove, and I did different ink styles. I tried to watercolor and smooth that out. I tried to do multi, but it didn't really work, so I gotta play with that some more. This is just remnants. I did like multiple generational, so I would do it once and then 2-3 times to get different shade variations of it. I tried different things, how to blend the ink out. This is using one of her Stampin' Up! Sunflower ones, which we really liked, but I think I needed to put more inks in here. this one is just kind of came out funky. Then this is one I tried to spritz the pad or the embossing folder with after to bring more ink up and do like a watercolor effect. This is just some more that I was playing with. And then these, I wasn't happy with the way they came out as far as, where is it? How this was smudgy, so I fussy cut them out and they look like way better being fussy cut out. So those will go on cards. And then I did take some of them and turn them into cards. So this is like the first generation, and same here, and then this is like a second generation. So I ended up turning those into cards, but I was playing a lot with inking my embossing folders, and I think we all really enjoyed that, so we'll probably see more of that. Okay, this was one of my big projects that I worked through. Actually, two of us built this, and one of us took it home to build because she had to leave early. So this is using Paper Phenomenon's beach bag template. So my friend bought that and then brought it over, and we all kind of made our own bag. She did one, it's a wedding album. I did mine on Christmas, and I used the Echo Park Christmas time collection. I actually ran out of paper, so I know that 12 double-sided sheets is not enough to complete this. I had to actually get some other Christmas paper from just Tracy's stash to do the cover, and I had to piece together some pieces of paper to actually finish this off. So if I was to do this again, I would make sure that I have the 12 by 12 kit and probably the 6 by 6. So that should complete the project without having to piece your paper together. So this was actually a pretty extensive project, but it came out a lot better than I thought, and I do need to fix some of this because I need to use glue because it's not holding with tape. So ATG tape, it's not holding with. So there's many pockets here, pocket, 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 and then pocket, and then pocket. So it has a lot of room, and then I turned my tags into pockets as well. So there's a lot of room for pictures and stuff to hold in this album. And once you get used to how to make it, it isn't really that difficult. But I think that if I was to make it again, I would create me a cut list, because you have to build every page. All the pages are the same, but you have to like configure your paper differently every time. So it was like, that's what made it so time consuming, is you had to cut every piece of paper because you had to plan, and you weren't really, I mean, by the end I remembered the sizes I needed to cut and the scores I needed to do, but that's gonna quickly leave my brain should I do this again. But I think it came out really well, so I would likely do that again, this one. And it just stands up, like I said, it's pretty sturdy. I just have a few things to fix in there that my friend, I built this first, so she used mine as what to follow, so it was getting opened and closed a lot. So, but I think it is going to hold up really well, even with her opening and closing. Like, it has not had any damage or anything. So I just need to fix the inside cover. So that was another project. Then I did some more projects. I did a couple of little cutting boards using the shakers again. So this is from the Costume Cuties Queen and Company, and I just used some dies from her stash and some dewdrops for the bubbles, and covered that one there. This one is, these are using rub-ons. So I just took the cutting board, I did some stamping on it with snowflakes and just some Stampin' Up! Ink and a paper bow she had in her stash, and I did the rub-ons here. I have a lot to learn with rub-ons. I was scraping some of it off, trying to get the second one on. It wasn't really wanting to stick too well to the wood, so I think there's just some things I need to learn more about rub-ons when using them, but I thought this came out really cute. I do have a video on this and this, so this will come out in the next month or two. So okay, this is a project I did using Echo Park's Chilling with My Snowmies memory file template. Once I did struggle a little bit with the instructions, but once I figured them out, it was fine. And I used the Photo Play Creepin' It Real paper collection. I probably have enough that I could do another album or another one of these with it, but I don't know that I will. My friend mentioned having doing like a collection of them and then like giving them away, so like Easter, 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, and then you can give them as a gift, and then somebody can put their seasonal pictures in it for the year. But it's a file folder that's cut down, and it has a lot of flips and photo spaces in it. So I thought this was actually kind of fun. This is just an insert that you put in, and you can slide it in and out if you needed to put the pictures on. And then it's got some photo mats. Put this down. In here, this is a pocket, and then it's got a picture sleeve for like wallet size pictures, and then it has a big pocket on the back. So I think it would be a really neat idea. The thing I would change about this is you cut the file folder down, and the part that you cut off the bottom, which is the fold, you kind of reposition it here, and my change would be to make a gusset, because it doesn't stay closed, and because it's full. And so if I do this again, I'm going to give it at least a 1/2 inch gusset, so that it's not popping open like that. Now the template does show to do a band across it with a tag, which is what is likely going to keep it closed, but I didn't want to do that because that's going to interfere with all of my embellishments for the front. So I think I'll just create a gusset and problem solved. So, but I thought it actually came out really good once I understood the instructions and what to do and stuff. So I'll probably make more of these. Okay, this was one of our big projects we did. I did not design this. This is coming from Let's Get Scrappy, I believe. And all I did was create a cut list, and my friends and I built this together. So mine's a back to school. I think the collection is Off to School by Echo Park. I don't have like nothing left. I used all of the paper. So that project does use a whole 12 by 12 collection. And but I made that using her template, and then my friends made one as well. One of them did Christmas, and one of them just did like a family one. But they have fold outs and pockets and I make additional pockets more than what the template shows. And then, well, this is backwards, it goes like that. And then it actually had like a pop-up thing here, but I didn't really like it because it was too bulky. And then these are actual pockets too. And then it uses these, I don't remember the name of them, but they're photo pocket sheets. And it has a whole section of, which is the reason we wanted to do this album, was because this is something different we've never done before. And so yeah, so that is from somebody else. I did not design this, but I've made 2 of them already, and I think they're a really fun book for some. Oh, I have to get paper because I ran out, so I need to go through my stash and get some more to finish this back. But that, and then there's magnets in it, so it magnets clothes, not all the time. This has a magnet on it here. This has a magnet here and a magnet here. So it just depends on how thick you make it, determines if the magnets are actually gonna work or not. So made this album. Then I made a bunch of shakers using Queen & Company's Woodland shaker collection, which I'll be making some projects with this. I think I'm going to do like a cloche for one of them and some mixed media stuff, but these are the ones that I made. I actually, my friend Tracy cut all the pieces out, and then I put them together before I left. So there's 7 of them. So you got the raccoon, the hedgehog, which I think is my favorite of them, a beaver, a chipmunk, a fox, a bear, and a skunk. So those are pretty fun, and I do have some projects planned for those. So I have 2 of, no, I have 2 of the fox. I have a 2 of some of them and 1 of some of them. So that is those. And then I believe the last project I have is this paper bag album, which I need to put the cover back on. So this is paper bags. So this is 2 like gift bag paper bags, and then these are like lunch bags. And we had tried to use a template from Paper Phenomenon, but I was really struggling with how it looked, and so I kind of took that and created my own version of it. And the reason I left this so wide is because the idea is that these paper bags will hold cards, and you can give them as a gift to people. So like you could put many, you know, like 3 or 4 get well cards, 3 or 4 birthday cards, you know, baby card, like, so you can have a collection of cards to use throughout the year. And each page has now where did that go? Well, this no, this one's not a pocket. Each page in here has a pocket that you could, like if you have birthdays or something, you can put a list in there. Each page has one of these pockets, so like maybe you wanted to buy some gift cards and just have them stashed until you need them, you can put those in there. There's a pocket here for something, and then you have your main paper bag pocket. And there's 6 pages, and they all are kind of designed the same, so you can do the same thing with all of them. Or you can do January through February, March, April, May, June, July. You can do 2 months a bag and do it for birthdays. So you would put however many birthdays you have in those months. You can put those cards in here, the gift cards, you get them, so you're just ready to go, and you just can pull this out and send your gift cards for those months all at once, or just, so that's why it's got such a big strap right here. I'll likely do a video on this because my friend wants to use it for some of her office girls' Christmas gifts. So I'll probably do a video on this one showing how to build that. So that'll be coming up in the next months too, because Christmas is approaching us. So I believe that is all the things I made that I physically have here. I'll put pictures of the stuff that I made that I left there at Tracy's house. But overall, I am pretty pleased with the amount of stuff I made in those days. And I had a great time with my friends, and I look forward to this trip every single year. We've been doing it for several years now, and so I look forward to that because this is what I enjoy doing for my vacations. So anyways, I'll show those videos, and I think that's it. Now I get to go put all of the stuff away that I have brought home. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that.